Welcome back, winners. We're almost to Disneyland. We are actually currently at the Garden Walk. We are trying something different parking-wise. Parking here is open to the public and for park goers. And I believe, even as Explorer key holders, we still pay $30 to park at the Toy Story lot. And then you have to, ride on the buses, which in the daytime, early in the mornings, can be busy. Afternoons, never a problem getting here. Leaving the park, you generally have to wait quite a bit. So we're going to try something different, but in order to get the extra discount, you have to buy something, and then they will validate your parking. So stay tuned for the end of the video when we go to pay, and we'll show you how that works. Now let's get into this park. Parking can be validated here at Starbucks, or at Paris Bakery, or at any of the local restaurants. They give you a little ticket with a barcode on it that you scan when you're paying for parking as you leave for the day. Again, I'll show you how that works. I've never done this before, so I'll show you how that works when we are done. We used to park here at the Anaheim because it's literally across the street from the park, but then they jacked the rates up. $40 during the week, $45 on the weekends, and I just can't justify that. And you also run the risk of them being full. So we don't do this anymore. Not when we have the pass and can park for $30 at Toy Story. And I'm not sure how much it's going to cost at the Garden Walk. We'll see when we're done how that works. There we go. Now we're back where the fun happens. Riddle me this. Does that look different? Those cattle car looking cars? I'm not entirely sure. I remember that. Objectives today are not much. A couple of rides here in Disneyland, and then we're going to head over to DCA. They've got a special treat over on the back lot that I'm dying to try. Neither one of us had anything to eat. So we're going to try to do Big Thunder and Indy and then bop on over to DCA. This is nothing but a Sunday fun day. I'll make some observations on the state of the parks as we go through. That's about it. Tag along. Oh, and stay tuned. We'll see. I got some thoughts on that parking deal. We'll see when we close out what the cost, the total is. So stay tuned for that. Expectations are an extraordinarily busy park. This is the last weekend for the California 3-day pass, and the park's already full. No reservations allowed, and Main Street is jamming. Holy cow. And I'm checking out the tip board. The park is busy AF. Update. Disney's policy on pin trading has changed, and this is going away. All these tables, all these big folders, all of this is ending very, very soon. Today's the 17th, I think, of May. They've got about a week left, I believe. And then they're not allowed to do this anymore. Benches, tables, etc. You are not allowed to trade pins there. Update. Another update. This ends tomorrow. Tomorrow, no more pin trading at the entrance to Frontier. No more utilization of tables or benches or the big sort of folders. The big portfolios. Not allowed to have them anymore. Today's the 17th, May 17th. That's the last day. Big Thunder out into the wild. They have completely filled the line. They're calling it 55 minutes. It's all of that all day long. We are technically rope dropping a breakdown at Indy, but they didn't dump the line. Now that's only probably 25 minutes, and nobody in Lightning Lane, it doesn't appear. But as per usual, scored a single rider. We're going to hopefully go straight in. Yeah, they are back to the Bat Cave. I can see from here, DAS and single rider appears to be wide open. We might do this in about 15 minutes. That'll be a nice win for the day. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is single rider DAS stretched back 100 feet. Woo. But for us, 17 minutes. Woo. Calling that a win for sure. Rope drop a breakdown. Oh yeah. Indy is up into the extra space and probably out into the wild. Pretty steady Lightning Lane too. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yikes, 75 minutes. Where's the back of the line? I think that's it, just going in right there. Woo-hoo. We scored on that one. Call that a win. Of note, as single riders, we did get pulled out as a two-top We got to ride together in my favorite seat. And I'm telling you, they had that sucker cranked up to 11 plus. I mean, it lifted me up off my seat multiple times. Cameron's in slick nylon pants. She's about to fly out. And even the girl next to us was like, I don't remember it being like this. It was intense. That was a hell of a run. They're calling Big Thunder 70 still. It is not even close. That's 30 minutes. They're not even doing a switchback. You've heard me say it several times when lines are posted 70, 80, 90 minutes. It's a call to no action. When we walked by here 30 minutes ago, this was all completely full and they were stretched halfway down that fence out into the wild. I've been standing here 60 seconds and they literally just dropped it to 40. With them not even making that switchback, it looks like they're just going around the corner straight into a single line. I wouldn't call that 40 minutes. However, look at that lightning lane. Lightning lane stretched well out into the wild. Did that go all the way up there? I mean, I see people, that's 30 deep right there. That's going to impact this line for sure. But man, it's cruising. Look at the movement. This a go. And making that observation on lightning lane, look, 30 seconds later, they bumped it up to 45 minutes. Lightning lane is stretched all the way to the exit. I've never seen it this busy, ever. No way. I asked a cast member, I was like, are you guys running, down one train or something like that? She said, no, they're at full capacity. They're just really freaking busy. They're still going up and just making that one turn. And that's the result of that lightning lane. 60 freaking minutes. Wow. And there you have it, folks. End of an era. They have run them off. Look at that. All gone. This is still the 17th. This is still today. I thought they had all the rest of the day, but they have run them off. That is it. Haha, I know. Monorail. Woo! Nice. With the silver skin. Tamer and I doing a little park hopping. Gonna go get something special for lunch. Late lunch. What did I say? 4:30. I'm starving, man. I have not eaten all day. Handful of popcorn. So off to DCA. I am excited for this one. That is the Asian burrito from Studio Catering Company. That's Korean marinated beef with kimchi, cabbage, and kimchi fried rice with gochujang and topped with gochujang aioli. And just for the heck of it, we got a Mickey pretzel with cheese. And you may be shocked to know that's my first ever Mickey pretzel.
Yeah.
Yours too?
Yes.
Oh, and I forgot one of the main surprises on this one. It's got dried crunchy ramen in it. That looks pretty good. That's loaded. Yeah, that's really, really good. That beef is very, very flavorful. There's a little spice. That gochujang's got a little kick to it. The slaw is crispy and fresh tasting. The beef is super flavorful. Very powerful, strong Asian flavors. And the little crispy ramen bits add a fun little crunch to it. It's good, spicy. It's good, yep.
Very good.
Yeah, very tasty. Highly recommend. The pretzel is very good too. It's soft, warm. That cheese sauce is tangy. It's just a plain cheddar sauce. That's got a little punch to it, but it's salty, soft. That's damn good. I can't believe this is 6 years my first Mickey pretzel. Yum. Man, I'm here to tell you that that burrito was something else. That was wonderfully delicious. Would recommend, would get again. The slaw was crispy and fresh. The gochujang added a nice kick. The beef was super flavorful. Very, very tender. That thing was huge. That thing's as big as a football. And if you ate it by yourself, you'd be roly-poly. And the pretzel was great too. And the cool thing about the pretzel, the cheese sauce, more than enough to last for the entire pretzel. That's always a disappointment when you get something like that and the dipping sauce runs out halfway through. So that was wonderful. Would highly recommend. Studio Catering Company. Little pocket of real estate. I don't believe it. I think that's going to do it for us in the parks today. Short day, just a quick trip, just to get a little Disney fix, and we wanted to test out that parking thing. So we're going to head back there and do our little checkout, show you how that works, and then give you thoughts on what we think value-wise. Huh. Cool. Now we just got to figure out. Oh, here we go. Nice.
Yep.
Here's the instructions. First hour is free, then it's $4 an hour. $30 max. But if you get your parking validated, I think it's $20. We're about to find out. So you scan your ticket barcode, then your validation barcode, and then you pay. All right. That says $12. See if it takes anything off to validate.
That made it more.
Why did it do that? Yeah, let's try that again. Let's just do the
$12?
ticket. Yeah, that was curious. No, that still says $20. Okay, let's try that again. See if we can get that $12 to pop back up. No, it's showing $20. Try your validation. And remember to print your receipt because you need that barcode to exit. But I think we may have screwed up because the first hour is free and then it's $4 an hour. We were here 3.5 hours, so that should have been $12, which it showed at first. And then we did the validation thing and it jumped up to 20. So lesson learned, if you're less than $20, don't validate. But at that rate, for $20, plus you had to buy something to get validated. And we bought, what'd you buy? A coffee at Starbucks, which was like $5 or $6. So you're still $25, $26. So you're really only saving $5 from our Explorer key rate. And then you got to walk about 4 blocks.
It only took us like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was only like a 15-minute walk. Tamara hates getting on the bus
I
for
don't like the bus.
Toy Story. She hates waiting for it. It's not getting on the bus. She doesn't like waiting for the bus. At night, sometimes it can be, you can wait an hour just to get on the bus. So if you don't mind the walk, and you don't want to ride the bus or wait for the bus, and you save $5, I'll let you guys be the judge on whether or not you think that was worth it. So if you want to, after the park, stop and get a bite to eat or something to drink, it might be worth it for you, but I'll leave it up to you guys about whether or not you think that was worth it. It's not a bad walk, I'll tell you that. And there is a ton of parking here. I'm really surprised. Maybe the word's just not out with Disney folks, or maybe they just don't want to freaking walk 5 blocks after being in the park all day. For us, it wasn't bad at all. But that's going to do it for us. We're going to get home early, go sit by the fire pit. See you winners later. Thanks for watching.